little china figure on a little bracket sat. His little feet were always crossed, he wore a little hat. And every morning fair or foul and shadows dark or dim, a pretty little housemaid came and softly dusted him. She took him up so gently and with such a charming air, his china soul was melted quite and loved her to despair. All day he sat and thought of her until the twilight came, and in his china dreams at night he breathed her little name. Oh, her little name, her name. And in his china dreams at night he breathed her little name. One day while being dusted in his joy he trembled so to feel her little fingers that alas she let him go. In vain she tried to grab him back, fate willed it they should part. He fell against the fender ridge and broke his little heart. She gathered up his fragments and she told a little lie, expounding to her mistress how the cat had made him die. And on the following morning when the shutters back she thrust, she spoke his little epitaph. There's one thing less to dust. Oh, there's one thing less, one thing less to dust.
I'm Drew Ness. I'm doing Bible memory, and my passage is Isaiah 53, 1 through 12. Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. For he was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him in low esteem. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, and yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and afflicted, and yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shears is silent, so he did not open his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away, and yet who of his generation protested? For he was cut off from the lands of the living, and for the transgression of my people he was punished. He was assigned a grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death. Though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. And though the Lord makes his life an offering for sin, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. After he has suffered, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. By his knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore, I give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death and was numbered with the transgressors. For he bore the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressors.
I'll be performing a humorous prose called What Was I Scared Of by Dr. Seuss. Well, I was walking in the night and I saw nothing scary, for I've never been afraid of anything. Not very. Then I was deep within the woods when suddenly I spied them. I saw a pair of pale green pants with nobody inside them. I wasn't scared, but yet I stopped. What could those pants be there for? What could a pair of pants at night be standing in the air for? And then they moved, those empty pants. They kind of started jumping. And then my heart, I must admit, it kind of started thumping. So I got out. I got out fast as I could go, sir. I wasn't scared, but pants like that I did not care for. No, sir. After that, a week went by. Then one dark night in Greenwich, I had to do an errand there and fetch some Greenwich spinach. Well, I had fetched the Greenwich spinach. I was walking back through town when those pants came racing around the corner and they almost knocked me down. I lost my Greenwich spinach, but I didn't even care. I ran for home. Believe me, I really had a scare. Now, bicycles were never made for pale green pants to ride them, especially spooky pale green pants with nobody inside them. And then the next night I was fishing for dow trout on Roover River. When those pants came rowing toward me, well, I started to shiver. And but now I was so frightened that I'll tell you, but I hate to. I screamed and rode away and lost my hook and line and bait too. I ran and found a brickle bush, hid myself away. I got brickles in my breeches, but I stayed there anyway. I stayed all night and the next night too. I'd be there still, no doubt, but I had an errand to do. So the next night I went out. I had to do an errand, had to pick a peck of snide in a dark and gloomy snide field that was almost 9 miles wide. I said, I do not fear those pants with nobody inside them. I said and said and said those words. I said them, but I lied them. I reached inside a snide bush, and the next thing I knew, I felt my hand touch someone, and I'll bet you know who. And there I was, caught in the snide, and in that dreadful place, the spooky pants and I were standing face to face. I yelled for help, I screamed, I shrieked, I howled, I yelled, I cried, oh, save me from these pale green pants with nobody inside. But then a strange thing happened. Well, those pants began to cry. Those pants began to tremble. They were just as scared as I. I never heard such whimpering, and I began to see that I was just as strange to them as they were strange to me. I put my arm around their waist and sat right down beside them. I calmed them down, poor empty pants with nobody inside them. And now we meet quite often, those empty pants and I. We never shake or tremble. We both smile and we say, hi.
My name is Simon,
And I'm Eli,
and we will be doing Tacky the Penguin.
by Helen Lester. There once lived a penguin. His home was a nice icy land he shared with his companions. His companions were named Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect. Hello! His name was Tacky.
Hey, yeah!
Tacky was an odd bird. Every day, Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect greeted each other quietly and politely.
Oh, top of the morning,
Good
Jen.
morning.
How are
Yes.
you today?
Yes, I'm good. Tacky greeted them with a hearty slap on the back and a loud,
Ooh, what's happening?
Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect always marched 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tacky always marched
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, 0, 2.5, 0.
His companions were graceful divers. Tacky liked to do very splashy cannonballs.
Move over. Cannonball! Ow.
Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect always sang pretty songs like Sunrise on an Iceberg.
Sunrise on an iceberg.
Tacky always sang songs like How Many Toes Does a Fish Have?
How many toes does a fish have?
How many eyes on a slug? How much ham in a sandwich? I guess I'll never know.
One day, the penguins heard the thump, thump, thump of a large animal. This could only mean one thing. The hunter had come for them.
I'm gonna catch them pretty penguins. Gonna march them with a switch. Gonna sell them for $1 and get rich, rich, rich.
Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect ran away in fright. They hid behind a block of ice. Tacky stood alone. The hunter marched right up to him, chanting,
I'm gonna catch them pretty penguins. Gonna march them with a switch. Gonna sell them for $1 and get rich, rich, rich.
Ooh, what's happening?
and gave him a hearty slap on the back.
I'm hunting for penguins. That's what's happening.
Penguins? Do you mean those birds that march so neatly in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, 0, 2.5, 0.
What?
Do you mean those birds that dive so gracefully? Cannonball!
Oh, come on. You got me wet.
Do you mean those birds who sing such pretty songs?
Tacky began to sing, and from behind the block of ice, the penguins began to sing, singing as loudly and dreadfully as they could.
How many toes does a fish have? How many wings on a cow? I wonder, yup, I wonder.
The hunter could not stand the horrible singing. This could not be the land of the pretty penguins he was looking for. He ran with his hands tightly clasped around his ears, and he ran away without any of his maps, traps, rocks, or locks, and he did not look rough or tough. Goodly, Lovely, Angel, Neatly, and Perfect hugged Tacky. Tacky was an odd bird, but a nice one to have around.
By the way, narrator, I'm not odd. I'm just different. That's all.
Oh, penguins! Nom, 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 nom.
We will be playing Come Thou Almighty King, arranged by Betsy Reed.